We're busting.
We're getting
the
old.
seams.
We got to go earlier.
We're Liberty pre-coming everywhere. Let's get this.
We are
going.
live.
Hello, welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 417. I am Otto, and tonight I'm joined with Jared.
Hello.
Nikki Pinecone.
Where'd it be?
Alex Bot 467-987-4234-9er.
I am here.
And the election denier himself, Mr. James Babb.
Hello. How dare you?
It's almost as bad as Holocaust denial. Almost.
Almost.
I will always contend that.
Same thing. It's kind of the same thing.
Same thing. So I don't know.
I'm sure elections have killed more people than Holocausts have.
Oh boy, coming in hot. Oh boy,
What do you think? Takes right off the bat.
I'm doing the math
Who's
real
killed
quick.
more? Who's killed more? I'm gonna say it's a clean win for elections.
Alrighty.
I was just gonna talk about Halloween, but you guys are just started hitting it.
It's gonna keep it light and talk about
Yeah.
costumes and pumpkins and candy corn.
Well, apparently you guys are all Halloween Grinches. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're supposed to come in costume or something.
No, but just
It's
look
not
at me. I'm all
Halloween yet.
festive.
Yeah.
Look at me in my shirt. I got my
Yeah.
good jacket.
Otto's got the bug, the
Dude, we still
the
got 2
Halloween
weeks.
bug shirt.
Did you call me a Halloween Grinch?
Yeah, you
Like
said
I have
that.
I have the book adaptation of the Halloween Tree written by
You
Ray
said-
Bradbury and the animated version both.
All right, Mr. Tough Guy, you're coming in hot for the audience, but before and then you're like, oh, I don't like Halloween. I just like horror movies. I heard that. I heard you say that.
I prefer horror movies.
See, you all
And
hate
it's not
Halloween.
and it's not Christmas. So like because it's not Christmas,
Well, that's true.
it
Christmas.
barely registers in my world.
But I'm actually like more in the spirit this year. Like we just had my daughter's party and Alex was there.
That was
Jared didn't
cool.
come, 'cause he
Are you
doesn't like
drinking
me.
a pumpkin ale at least?
Yes, I am. I wanted to show everybody. I am drinking this is a Spring House in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's called Brains. I don't know if you can see it in the
Oh, that's
camera.
pretty rad.
I like
It's
that.
dude, it's awesome as shit. And it's a pumpkin
Nice.
ale and it's 8.5%.
Nice.
So it's good. And on top of it, too, Babs, this is for you, man. I wanted to take a
Alright.
picture. I don't know if I did send it. I don't know if I did or not. But this is called this is by our local Jailbreak Brewery. And it's called you can't really see because
Brahim?
it's called Brahim because it's the band. It's funny because
Yeah.
anyone you guys listening, you knows the band. It's Pennywise is on the front cover.
I got it.
Nice.
Pennywise, the punk band, has a famous song called Bro Him. So this is called Brahim,
Broham
And it's-
tribute.
and it's
Yeah,
it's
if you don't
classic.
get that, then you need to just stop listening to this podcast.
Right.
What was the
This
the
is
name
All
of
right, later, guys. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'll see you later.
Wow,
Look,
okay, so
you've got boomer cred on this one. You were too
Well,
old by the time that
what?
was out.
Come on.
You were actually being an activist when we were listening to them.
Coming in hot with the soundboard. All right.
what's the
Hey.
name of the Lancaster brewery there?
That
Otto?
is Spring House.
Ooh, Spring House. All right, Spring
Yeah,
House
so-
Jailbreak. We will send you the bill in the
So-
mail for the free
exactly.
marketing. We'll
So
send
this
you a
is
bill.
this is a hazy IPA. This
Oh,
Brahim.
nice.
And it's a hazy double IPA and it is 8%. So it is delicious.
But it's
very
it's
fruity.
only a 12 ounce. Is that a 12-ounce can?
That was a 12 ounce. Yes.
Oh,
Ounce.
oh.
Did you hear me?
Only
That
a
was
12
12
ounce.
This is the big jobber. This
only
is
the standard
16 ounce.
Can that
Yeah, there you
everyone
This
go.
is
makes.
this is the pint of the pumpkin ale.
This is what I've got tonight.
Ooh.
It's called Island King by Treehouse. 8.2%, and
That's
it's
Treehouse
delicious.
is good.
Kind of an ironic beer for you to be
delicious.
drinking.
The
Could it be
Island King. Yes.
Island
Well-
This would be the Island King.
He's the compound king.
Just for records, kid, if your twist looks like that drink, you need to get more water in your diet.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
You kind of
this
broke
is the
up when you said
sample.
that. Yeah, that. Oh God,
Mm.
could you imagine how like feeling that grainy come out and you pee like that? Oh,
Andrew's upset about our
oh,
premature launching of the show here.
oh.
Well,
Yeah.
it was rather sloppy.
We got to keep you.
Well,
guys
we're
on your
normally
toes.
like 5 to 10 minutes late, so it is concerning. I would be concerned for our safety or something.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading. Yeah, that's
What is CT? Connecticut?
Why?
Sorry, we don't know anything about Connecticut, bro.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Connecticut.
It's one of those states that you try to go around on your way to New England.
It's the one that sued Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, there was a reason why Jeremy Coffin called it a trash or what do you call it? In his
It's
ad,
a garbage state.
Garbage state. Yeah. So
Shithole
apparently,
Shithole state.
shithole state.
That's what it is.
I mean, look, I'm in Pennsylvania, so I can't really say anything. Okay,
I'm in Maryland.
But,
Yeah, we're in Maryland. Nikki P's in Cleveland, so
There's only like
I'm-
3 good states, so if
I'm
you're
gonna
not
be
in
hon-
one of those,
To be honest, it's better than all the places you named,
very
without
true.
question.
Yeah.
Well,
So for all of you
is
guys who
Ohio-
haven't heard, is Ohio real? We got to. Is it real? Can you tell us, Nick?
As long as you stay out of the cities, you're pretty good.
Is it real though?
Nothing's real.
Oh, it's real. It's too real.
Okay.
Look, I'm a postmodernist. Nothing's real. So.
Oh, boo. But anyway, so speaking of what is real is Israel.
Well, what about Israel?
Alex Jones got sued in court early last week, and man, oh man, $1 billion he owes. Do you know what fucking yes, $1 billion
965 million.
and this is just from the second trial. So before where he owed several hundred million. So add that on. He owes over $1 billion to these people.
You know what the beauty of this is that
crazy.
the only people that are ever going to see any money are the lawyers on the other team. He's going to file bankruptcy, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to be put out of business." No, he's going to file bankruptcy. He'll have a new LLC within the month, and then he'll start all over and do just fine because he's fucking Alex Jones. Like the only people getting screwed out of this are the people that think they're doing anything by suing Alex Jones. The other people getting screwed out of this are everyone in America because the precedent of this is probably one of the most insane fucking things on the planet. This is like really upping the ante on the words or violence shit.
Yeah.
We have $1 billion decision on someone who
Right.
never did anything. Just
Right.
said some
Well, look,
stuff.
if this was communist China, we wouldn't be surprised, right? Like,
Right.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. I would
so-
be surprised if it was communist China. Usually, they're not so blatant about that shit. They try and like word it nicely and cover it up. They'd never be so egregious.
Well,
Yeah, but they can get public opinion. Public opinion is probably on the side of this, right? They paint Alex
Well, that's
Jones
the whole
as this
idea.
monster that went after, the parents of murdered children, and so yeah, no one except for us is gonna be like, well, that's clearly wrong. They're gonna be like, yeah, he
Well,
deserves that.
Glenn Greenwald came out hard against it because he understands what it means for journalism. And
Of course, yeah.
He's just gotten slammed over it.
Of
Like
course.
everybody. I mean, this was well designed. Find the undesirable, make that stick. No one will complain too much, and then it'll be just open for whoever else is going to say something we disagree with, and hey, people are going to just keep their mouths shut for now. Like, why would you risk that kind of a lawsuit?
Hey, how much did the guy who actually killed the kids get? Oh,
Right.
Yeah, that's a good
Well,
The
question. I'm
CIA,
sure
you mean?
what's that?
goddamn CIA. Well, the problem though, another thing is one of the plaintiffs. So I listened to Scott. I had known a lot of what was going on, but I heard I think it was it Tom Woods or Scott Horton? I can't remember. One of his lawyers came on and said that pretty much how much of a bullshit this trial was in general, about how he wasn't able to defend himself. He wasn't able to tell the audience that he was sorry, or the jury that he was sorry. He couldn't say that, like, he only talked about it for 7 minutes over the course of several years. He talked about Sandy Hook. And but here's another thing too, blew me away. An FBI agent got awarded $90 million, a part of that settlement.
for
because
heroic, for being a hero, or
because
for-
he said it caused him harm, even though he doesn't live there.
Listen, you son of a bitch.
At no point did Alex Jones do that in court, and that's the problem.
All right.
Well, it's not like he has that many billion. He doesn't have $1 billion. I'm assuming, unless he's really sold a lot of Berkey water filters. I mean,
Block out the sun.
Look, you can build a Berkey.
Super male vitality.
You can build a Berkey for $30.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Yes.
oh, God bless him. What a lunatic, right? But I feel like he's,
He's
what,
a lunatic, right?
yeah, he's our lunatic. You don't mess with him. It's our job to make fun of him, right? Like not you
Yeah.
guys.
Right.
Well, just like everybody's saying in the chat, like this is such an assault on the First Amendment. I mean, Jesus Christ, this sets a precedent. Like a couple years from now, someone could go through all of our episodes and all of us will probably be guilty of something. I mean, this is insane by just shit we talk about. For
Oh, I'm
example,
sure it's been way worse than things that he said.
right.
You know,
and
I mean-
and to be fair, and Jared, I posted the last video in there, but do you remember this? I mean, and we've most likely talked about it, but and I wasn't paying too much attention to Alex Jones during that time, but remember how weird that fucking the one victim, like the one father, Robbie Parker, was acting in that emotional CNN interview. And I think all of us are probably like, this is fishy. Like this dude is not acting, he's acting weird. He's getting into character before giving this emotional speech on CNN. And I think all of us were like, something's off here, right? So this is what Alex Jones is guilty of just questioning this. I mean, fuck, I'm like, look how
Phones now
bizarre this is.
and make a statement. Looks like the family is there.
Which guy is
They're
it?
getting ready to make
So his-
come to the
his-
microphone,
yeah.
so we'll listen.
Mhm. Like, watch him get into character here.
He's literally acting.
My name's
He's literally-
Robbie Parker.
Not
My
well
family
either.
is one of the families that lost a child yesterday in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings here in Connecticut.
Robbie Parker,
That was fucking cringe, man.
Right. And I mean, he's totally getting into character, you know, like
He's
and-
smiling. Like
yeah,
if my
yucking it
6-year-old
up
was
off
murdered,
camera.
if my 6-year-old was brutally murdered, I
This
I
is the
wouldn't
same
even-
clip repeated. It's for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's
I was like, where are the other clips? It's
I know,
just-
but that's the thing. It's just like never forget this because this is what ultimately he's guilty of. So wait, I might be guilty of because when I first saw that in Sandy Hook, I'm like, something's fucking off with this shit. The fact that this dude's kid was murdered and on this like the next day he's going on CNN and they're parading him the fuck out and he's acting fucking weird, you know? So that's insane that we could
Let's-
potentially go down this slippery
let's
slope
break
of
down
questioning anything.
exactly what he's accused of. He made some families sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he made some families sad, he owes $1 billion. I can't tell you so now every time like somebody breaks up with a fucking girl, they can sue him for like damages.
well, wasn't the claim that he somehow it was more than that, right? The claim, I'm not saying this is true, but the claim is that he sort of incited his followers or his listeners to go and then harass the parents, right? Isn't that sort of the
Maybe that's
claim?
what they said in court, but I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody who's talking about this and on the side like against him gives a shit about that. He made those families sad, and that's what he needs to pay for. That is the people on the ground, how they feel about it.
Well, I think most people have a general reaction that what he did was wrong, right? And it was, and if you think of like, let's say, this was a genuine tragedy, right? It's not saying that the FBI wouldn't take advantage of it. Doesn't mean they wouldn't put their fake spokesperson up in front of it, right? But, to cause extra pain for those the families of those victims, it's kind of a douchey move. I think everybody just innately feels that, right? Like so and therefore we're going to need government to crack down on free speech, obviously.
Yeah, that's where it's going. He's been the canary in the coal mine this whole time. I mean, he was the first to get yanked off of all the social media, off of Twitter, even before Trump, right?
I think he's the canary in the coal mine when it comes to like the entertainment. There's a word I'm looking for, but I can't find it. But it's because you look at people like Edward Snowden, and Julian Assange and Ross Ulbricht, like they're the ones that the government went after, and they're the ones who shut down their lives. Whereas now it's like they're experimenting, like how can we go
How far can we
outside of
go?
the law?
Yeah.
How far can we go outside of
Because like
the
you
law?
can't, because like if Alex Jones goes to jail tomorrow, like people would be like, okay, that's a bridge too far. But
No,
you
they
sue the
wouldn't.
guy.
No, they would cheer for that. They would.
I
They
mean,
would cheer
maybe.
for that.
I think
Maybe-
at this point they would. I think at this point
If
they
you,
would. But
if you said he's
starting
being
out-
executed, they'd be like, "Well, he should have obeyed." I mean,
yeah, you might be right.
misinformation.
I think-
he has to
I
die.
think now
That's the way
I
we
think
do it.
now. I think before the Trump era, if this happened before the Trump era, I
Mhm.
think for sure people would be like, "Well, that's weird. That's messed up. He's crazy. He's out there, but like he shouldn't go to jail."
Yeah, he's a
But I
nutty
think
douchebag,
now-
but
He's the reason why the Russians hacked the election and blah blah blah. So he's like enemy number one. So anything they do to him now, no one cares about, and they would probably cheer it on. Clearly.
I'm still weirded out by the fact that you're still lumping Edward Snowden in with Ulbricht and Assange.
Oh boy! Oh wow! All
And
right,
not
Nick,
treating
lay it
him
on
like
us.
not treating him like the CIA plant that he is.
Oh boy! Oh.
Ooh.
okay.
Did
And, I mean,
anything other than the government get what they wanted out of him coming forward? No. All the shit that he said was happening, it's still happening, only legally now.
but why does that make him a member of the CIA?
But wasn't he?
That just
actually
is
a member of the
government doing
CIA?
government things.
He was a
Or is it-
member of
he
the
was the
NSA.
Whatever.
And-
shit,
And
bro,
and then he worked for a contract. He was definitely like
Yeah, he
on
was
the
a
other
government
team.
contractor.
But that's what put him in a position to to be the whistleblower. The fact that nothing happened after he blew the whistle, I don't think reflects on him. I think that reflects on
What I
our
really think
society and
reflects on
culture, and
him-
the fact that nobody cares. Nobody cares about whistleblowers. That's what's going to keep future whistleblowers from coming forward. It's the fact that nobody really gives a shit. Nobody
Well-
really cares about Assange. Nobody really
No,
cares
no one
about
cares.
Ed Snowden. Nobody really cares about any of these. other
Really? No one
whistleblowers.
cares about Ed Stone? He gets a lot of public appearances for a fucking guy who's hiding from the American government.
Yeah, well,
Every
who's
time you turn
clamoring-
around,
who's riding in the streets for his release? Who's acknowledging that that everything he
Well, but
did?
he
was-
doesn't need to be released. He lives free in Russia. There is no release. He's a
Well,
walking
think
free
his
right
release
now.
from persecution. I mean, if you're forced to live in Russia, like you're not free, right? I mean,
Yeah, you're not free.
Is he going to be drafted in Russia now?
Oh, that's a good question.
yeah.
That's a great question. Holy shit! I didn't
Look,
Well, he's
I-
a citizen. He's a citizen now, right? They
Yeah,
made him
he's
an
a
actual citizen.
I think
Nah,
too
he's
old.
he's too important. Well, that and didn't he get medically discharged? I don't know. He probably can't even.
Well, yeah, I mean, Putin likes him because he, spits in the face of the American government, so he's not
Yeah.
going to fuck with that.
He's too important. They're not.
But
gonna-
I bet if the U.S. was like, you know what, fuck it, we're dropping, he's allowed to come back, then he'd probably just become a prisoner of Putin at that point.
did they ever release that basketball player?
No,
Oh
Oh,
no,
no.
she's still over there.
Brittany, whatever.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
What if we
This is-
traded? I propose
Brittany
a trade.
Grinder.
Like, how about a prisoner release? Okay, let's do a prisoner release where we give them Hunter Biden, like we give them one of our drug addicts, right? And then for a different drug addict, and we could just swap them, right? Like we'll get the one that plays basketball.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
They
Do
can
you
have Hunter
really
Biden.
want? Do you really
Nah.
want that terrible person back here? I
in
think it'd be.
exchange
I
for
guess
Hunter
it's
Biden.
I
Yeah,
guess
wait,
it's
what's
lateral
so-
at best, but
What's so terrible at her? Is she just kind of woke or something?
amongst other things.
Well, is she a good
whatever.
basketball player?
Don't make me sound too Bergman-like on this one.
You think she's a dude?
She, yeah,
She's
She
formerly
is a dude, yes.
yeah.
Oh,
So
So it's kind of it's the woke media trying highlighting.
I
I
spend
still
the-
think
great.
it's a fair
This is
trade.
gr-
I'm still going to call that a fair trade for Hunter Biden. I'm going to stick by that,
Okay, yeah,
regardless.
yeah, I mean, does Brittany
regardless of,
Griner have like
of-
deals with Ukraine and?
no,
regardless
no,
of her
you know.
chromosomes, I don't care.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
with
it
you,
wasn't the
Babs.
chromosomes I care about. Like we all know, I'm into trannies. That's my thing. But like,
And Otto is gone.
And
But it's
Otto's
the,
like,
uh,
all right,
it's
I'm
the
outta
ideology
here."
that comes with it. It was
Oh,
actually
he's
It's
when
not
back.
trans people that we have a problem with. It's the ideology.
well, no, I've been doing a lot of thinking on this, and especially with trans people, you hear the whole like they're queer. It's about the whole queer theory thing. And for people who are really about like there being no binaries, they're super excited to force their way into the male-female binary.
Yeah, you were going off about that last time.
Like it's super fucking weird. Like you can't just
Are you expecting some kind of rational argument for this stuff?
I know it's pointless, but they don't even follow their own irrational argument.
It's all about the feels, not about the argument. It's just about.
It's not even about feels. It is literally
First of all, you're wrong. Okay, that's the number one principle.
Exactly. That's really what it's about.
If whatever you cis white males are doing, it's wrong. Okay, so just when you were willing to accept the fact that we're whatever we want to be, we're going to have to extend it. Now we've got certain other parts of speech that are going to have to change when you address us. It's pronouns today. It's going to be adverbs later. Adjectives.
First they came for the pronouns, then they came for the adverbs.
And I said nothing.
I said nothing because I had no words left.
The problem is, James, is this is not.
They came for the prepositions.
My adjectives are wonderful, intelligent, and handsome.
And I'm liar.
I'm gonna make a bold call, and I'm gonna be not at all surprised when we start getting actual lynching of trans people within the next 5 years.
Whoa!
Not even a little surprised.
Wow.
Because of the effect that they're having on the right wing and the clapback that is coming for what's gone on the past 20 years. It is going to be very bad and very ugly for them.
Well, that would be a real tragedy because they're already, probably the top of the list of targets for violence, as far as like victim categories.
Absolutely.
It's awful.
Well,
I hope they get strapped.
But it's the whole woke ideology.
Arm the trans.
It's the whole the culture war
So-
is just getting so red hot, like Nikki P said. I could see it.
So hot.
We had the I don't know if you want to pull it up, Otto, but that recent school board meeting and just especially what's going on and what's being taught in these schools, it is just
that was crazy. Holy shit! I gotta hold on. Let me go find that.
We gotta find the docs, but
while you're doing that, here I got something for you. So I was telling you about fucking Shipley. Came at my face the other day about something, and
Came in your face.
It came on your face.
came at my face.
Ooh.
Came on my face.
You're into
Look,
that.
I'd have been way
You're
more
all
into that.
steamed up over here.
Should we save this for the after hours?
But I want to read this because to me this was just this was to me this is the silliest shit in the world. I posted this because a friend of mine posted it from back in where I grew up, and it's just silly. It isn't that we really love Limp Bizkit that much. It's because it reminds us of a pre-9/11, pre-Patriot Act, pre-20 years of nonstop oil wars, pre-social media, pre-pandemic world where our biggest problems were what kind of shows our buddies' bands were getting and how to keep writing mad songs about girl problems. It reminds us of a time when there was comparable sanity in the world and you weren't peppered with nonstop agendas and professional emails with pronouns listed in the signature. Life was wake up, work 8 hours, go play guitar with your buddies, and try to get an opening slot on a show that weekend. Looking forward to Rick Stock and lining up bands for Crush Fest. There wasn't one camera and 3 scumbags and assholes in every room you walked in. It felt like summer lasted longer, seemed like shit was less complicated because it was. Now, to me, that is the most nothing thing ever. It's a guy standing up.
You said pronouns in the
you said pronouns in the bio.
You brought Shipley out.
Exactly. That one thing, every trans and gay person that I am friends with gloms onto that one throwaway part of this fucking thing. And that's all they gave a shit about.
So you're saying your pronouns bring the trans to the yard? Is that what you're saying?
Apparently.
Wow.
I was just fucking floored by it. 'Cause to me, I didn't even register it. It's that's the whole thing about being in bands and being in what at least felt like a less shitty world where tyranny wasn't everywhere.
Yeah.
But nope, it's all about pronouns, you piece of shit.
That's sad, man. These people are fucking psychos.
So what did he say to you? Was it a long diatribe or was it
no. He called me. He called me a boomer, basically.
You're such a boomer.
And then I'm like, why am I still friends with this guy? I haven't talked to him in years. I just got rid of him. But
I leave the communists as friends, but I just unfollow. because I don't want to see their commie bullshit every
Well, I
day.
don't want his
know,
negativity on my fucking timeline either.
Yeah,
That's what he's saying. You
I think
unfollow, you
I
don't
mean,
see it.
unless he unfriended me, I'm friends with him on Facebook, but I had to just unfollow because of his commie bullshit.
What are timelines, boomers? What's a timeline? Facebook?
Oh
What is
yeah,
this?
you don't. The Book of Faces. Sorry, I didn't mean to trigger you. That's your trigger word.
I still call it a wall.
He does seem like, just for the record, he does seem like the happiest out of us. So maybe he's onto something.
Who does?
Well, what
Let's
drugs
see.
does he do?
Oh, Alex? Yeah, he's onto something. Actually, I'm not really on Facebook either.
Yeah, I try to stay off it. Well, I'm permanently off it, but
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like,
have an option.
Instead, you're on Twitter.
like your
Yeah.
girlfriend broke up with you. Like, no, I broke up with her too, though. Like,
Yeah,
Did you,
Yeah, I would have left it on my own anyways.
yeah.
find your docs there, Otto?
I did. I'm just trying to find the proper link to send over. So if you all can work with me, because this video is pretty wild. I don't get like worked up about a lot of things. You know, you hear a lot of like these teachers stuff, like in schools and everything. It bothers people with the stuff they're teaching. But this one was just so by far like the worst thing I've ever heard. I mean, a school. Here we go. I got it right here. I'm just copy and paste the link.
And this is what's fueling it, just like what Nikki P was saying. I mean, it would be tragic if you start seeing that happen, but it is they're just throwing gasoline on this fire.
And that's the issue.
Mhm.
It's people who feel like they're in charge and don't realize that that's the in charge part of the pendulum that swings, and they
Do
won't.
you
be in
guys? Let
charge
me ask you
forever.
guys something. I mean, none of my trans friends have ever mentioned anything about pronouns in their whole lives ever.
What
that
kind
I
of
ever recall.
what kind of trans friends do you have? I where I'm at here in Cleveland,
They're
which is a very liberal
people?
city. I live in a very liberal city, and I was part of the arts community, so like musicians and all that shit. And all of them lost their fucking
How are you
minds
not
when Trump became
trans?
president. Because I
Did
like
they?
having
So
a
they're
dick.
all like really
They're all
big on
raging
their
fucking
pronouns?
lunatics like this. Yes,
So this
I
tweet
didn't
here.
with a few. None of them talk to me anymore. Put it that way, because
Yeah, I just
Well,
thought the
with
people
middle school.
super
It was
upset
listen
also
to
about
on the
pronouns.
ELA recommended reading list for
Listen to
7th
this.
graders at J.M. Robinson. I'm going to read from Chapter 9, The Ins and Outs of Gay Sex, starting at page 201, Part 1, Boy on Boy Sex. Perhaps the most important skill you will master as a gay or bi man is a timeless classic, the hand job. Good news is you can practice it on yourself.
Wait, this is in
The
what?
bad news-
Hold on. This is in what? A book?
This
a
is-
school textbook?
In a 7th grade classroom that's on the it's like the books that they promote you to read, and it's actually in their classroom on the shelf.
Is
Well, how
each
else are they
guy
gonna
has
learn about
become
gay
very
hand
used
jobs?
to his own way of getting himself off.
At
Learning
home?
how to find a partner's personal style can take ages, but it can be very rewarding when you do. Something they don't teach you in school is that in order to be able to come at all, you or your partner may need to finish off with a handy. A lot of
Ooh,
people
handy.
find it hard to come through other types of sex. That is fine and certainly not something
I
you
love the
have
guy
to
signing it
apologize
in the
for.
corner.
I know,
A good
right?
handy is all about the
So
wrist
for
action. Rub the head of his cock back and forth with your hand. Try different speeds and pressures until he responds positively. A
So
bad
for our
handy is
audio
grasping
listeners-
the penis and shaking it like a ketchup bottle. Finally, my misunderstanding about rubbing two peens together wasn't far off the mark. Rubbing them together in one hand feels awesome. Mega combo handy, trademark pending. It's no wonder that 92% of CMS graduating seniors aren't college or career ready when you're instructing them on how to give blowjobs and handies instead of teaching them how to add and subtract. Superintendent, you stated this book was, quote, brought into the classroom by a teacher with no intent to allow students access. Any teacher that puts material like this on his or her bookshelf is either a bad teacher or a pedophile who grooms children.
Your 2 minutes are up. Thank you.
We will vote
Uh-huh.
November 8th. You are not leaders.
Yeah. So can you imagine
Let's-
like
but
your
you know
kid
what?
just
Come
being,
on.
I read a great chapter this week, Dad.
You know
Like-
what? These outraged parents, give me a break. You're sending your kid to government school. Don't act like you
Right.
care about your kid. Okay,
Well,
I'm sorry,
it's the whole
but you
I'm
don't
voting
care
you
about your
out.
kid. What's
Yeah,
that?
The whole thing,
Yeah.
like I'm voting out. No, it's just, like, I'm following your house and I'm gonna like beat the crap out of you. How about that? That if you want real
I mean,
change,
how many
like,
parents?
I'm gonna
How many
vote you
parents?
out.
Yeah, how many parents do you think saw that and were outraged, but didn't pull their kid out immediately?
Right.
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 Like that's why it exists, because people like, oh oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. Well, but that's the free thing I've been assigned. So I'm going to just do that. You know,
I'm just going to go to the polls.
Again, it's the parents. It's the parents. These people in these schools are going to do anything. And that's not the worst thing they're doing to your kids, teaching them how to do hand jobs.
No.
That's nothing.
Pledge of
They're
Allegiance.
also teaching them
I'm gonna
about
be honest.
voting.
By seventh grade, your kids know how to do hand jobs. I'm sorry.
But do they know how to do them well?
Right.
No, see, when a 7th grader is giving me a hand job, he's shaking a ketchup bottle. See, so that's why I'm glad I'm giving these to my students.
Like, I was explicitly told that no
Wow.
woman knows what they're doing until they're in their 30s. As a rule, that has been correct.
I'm still just blown away by.
Guess I got something to look forward to then.
I'm just blown away by that whole video because it was a government hearing that there was someone doing the sign language for the hearing impaired in the background the whole fucking time.
Well,
I'm still thinking about that. Like,
Well, I was doing it for the Punk Rock Libertarians listeners. I was doing my version of
just for the record,
sign
Otto,
language,
your
so you're
version
welcome.
wasn't fundamentally different from his version. What I noticed that is, I'm going to be honest, I think that like sign language actually gets sex language way better than regular language does. He was very graphic with what he was showing in his hands. Like, it was far more descriptive than anything I could say.
Well, I think this is appropriate.
Yeah, clown world. That's what's happening at school board meetings. Like hand job
Seriously,
books
people.
for 7th graders. I mean, this is what's going on in your schools.
Can you imagine just leaving your kid in that school? I mean, come on. Drop them off at the mall. Do anything.
You know?
But
Give
these
them a
are
real
people,
education.
These are people that believe it can be changed. They
Drop
can
off
be
under the
reformed.
83 bridge. Come on.
Seriously, drop them
I'll
off
learn how to give a
downtown.
good hand job underneath the 83 bridge.
Yeah, you'll learn more about hand jobs and gay sex under there than you will out of some
Right, but
textbook.
they're also going to learn real world skills like economics and
Right.
sales and marketing and and managing a customer base.
Pharmaceuticals, you know.
Yep.
They are going to have a far better appreciation for price theory than anyone out of Russia in the 80s.
This is true.
Speaking
What
of government schools, did you see this? This meme went around. It was like an
TJ?
infographic of a story that was from the story that it linked to was from, I think, last year or the year before. Baltimore public school student passes only 3 classes in 4 years, had a GPA of only 0.13, and yet was ranked near the top half of his class. So basically, half the
James,
class.
you can
Basically
say
half the
maybe, it's
class
okay.
had
You can
had
say-
a GPA of 0.13 or lower, and according to this infographic, Baltimore spends $21,606 per student per year. Now, if you watch this video, this video is the mom, okay, and
Oh, we watching
can we
this?
show
Oh,
a little
geez.
bit of this
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
Is there
Oh,
a video
God.
of the father?
Mind
or-
you,
Jesus.
I'm asking a
man.
question. Okay.
That is
shit.
that's a lot right there.
That's cold.
I
That's
just asked
cold.
the question. I don't know what you.
All right, let's go.
Tonight, an alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of
Maybe skip
students are
ahead more.
failing.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps
That'll
explains,
be fun
do for
later.
him.
this coming
Hold on,
He's
here we go.
stressed, and I am too. Like I told him, I probably will start crying. Like my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
this coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance? Do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years
What?
in school?
Wow.
He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They
Wait,
failed.
he's going. Wait a minute. Pause
They
it.
failed.
Pause it.
That's
Pause
the
it. Pause
problem
it.
here.
Pause
They
it. Did you guys just hear what she just said?
The school failed.
He's going back to 9th grade, and she's like, "Why does he have to do 3 more years?" That's 4
There's
there.
4 years.
Maybe
minute.
this is something else going on here. Jesus
Oh
Christ.
man, this is like a Baltimore Billy Madison tale. He goes back
Not,
to school.
but, see, everyone's not Rachel. I'm just saying, like, she doesn't sound like she was well educated. If she's saying 3 years when high school is 4 years, and he's going back to the 9th grade. Yeah, like Billy Madison. Back to school. Back to school.
Well, but you said it
that's
there.
sad.
She isn't well educated, which is why like it's
It's a
difficult not
cycle.
to it's difficult not
Yes.
to have a little pushback on James because James, when this is the level of intelligence of the parents, of course they're going to continue to send their kids to school because they're retards too.
Dude, it's insane.
They were
like,
made that way on
But
purpose.
she's pretty.
It's just really.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know about all that.
I do. She's pretty hot.
She's got the
Wow.
fake hair, man.
I'm
But the
just saying,
sad
if
thing is,
she
in
Not
needs-
for
this
me.
video, she goes on and on about how she didn't have any idea. This was like, surprise, your son didn't pass any classes over the past 4 years.
All right, I want to hear. I want to
Yeah.
hear more of it. I want to hear a little bit more of this. So just, I'm sure it's over soon.
Failed. They failed. He didn't deserve that.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore.
Savage.
His transcripts
What?
show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes, earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and
Wow.
works 3 jobs. She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted
So
to
did I.
Spanish 2 and Algebra 2.
Of course.
Damn,
He
lucky.
also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are
The
passing,
signal to send to the
that
parent.
you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we
All right,
can
this is
see
just-
in his
Wow.
Yeah,
This is just sad shit, man.
Very
This is
sad.
really fucked up. How would you like?
Man.
Man,
I mean, he should
Shout
just
out,
drop
everyone.
out. He should just drop out and go like become like a journeyman or
Dude,
something.
just-
yeah.
Like just get out of there, dude.
Anything.
Just
Like,
get the fuck out of there.
You think if he redid those 3 or 4 years, depending on your math, would the
in
outcome be any
Baltimore, that's
different?
Baltimore math right there.
Right. Do you think the outcome would be any different if he sat there for another 4 years? And
No.
then, like,
No.
right? Would her parenting improve during this period?
Maybe.
Would she be like, hey,
could
this
be a wake-up
report
call.
card
You never
says you
know.
failed everything. Is this a problem?
He's still moving on in 10th grade.
Dude, all the while. Oh, God. Right. Exactly, Babs. Like, nothing's going to
I'm glad
improve in
you're
this
doing
situation.
so well, son. I'm so
Oh,
proud of you. What are all
I
these
know it could
Fs? I
improve.
don't understand.
I know it could improve if Alex moves in with Tierra and he runs for mayor.
Let's save that for the after hours.
Wait, moves in with Tierra. What does that have to do with it?
Well, because I'm outside the city, so I.
Oh, I see.
So there needs to be an address within the city limits, or
Don't do
Well,
it. Don't do
but
it.
he
Stay
would.
out of this city.
He can't get a single Democrat vote though because he's racist.
but well, I don't know.
You're a colonizer.
What if you? Well, you could get a
Let's
stunt
talk-
double to be.
Dude, if you
for your
run for
campaign
mayor, I will
photo.
build your website for free.
Let's start. We'll strategize in the after hours because
All right.
I had like my wheels were spinning the other day when someone
know.
mentioned it, and it's like I could go just so hard on the fucking page.
Jared,
on
I'll up
public
the
schools in
ante.
Baltimore City. Like I would
Nick will write the copy for your website.
I'll write the copy and run your
Dude,
ad
I'm in.
account.
It'll
I'm
be-
in, I'm
There
in
you go.
too. I'm in too.
Okay, so we'll
but
talk.
I don't want you to actually have to go to Baltimore because I care
All right.
about you.
The only thing I'll
I
do
mean,
is
I already basically
It ain't
live.
that.
Like,
Yeah,
I
he's
walk
like
up
the
the
street in Baltimore.
I'm basically in the city. Like
Well,
I
yeah.
walk up the
You win.
street.
He just has
Yeah.
slightly lower taxes. That's all.
Yeah.
So if you win though, will you put me to like a position where I can make like 6 figures and steal a lot of homeless people's gift cards?
Yes.
'Cause I'll write a healthy.
We're just
house.
gonna
I'll
make
write
you CEO of Baltimore City Schools, and
I
you
will
make
run-
350K a
right.
year.
I will write a healthy auto book. All
I
right,
would've
I will
run-
write it.
Right. and then like and then make all the children get it right, and you'll teach them
Yes.
the right
Oh my
way to do
God.
hand jobs.
That's a podcast
Yes.
title right there.
Right.
Healthy auto.
So for those that don't listen, all the mayors in Baltimore are arrested, and the like
All of
2
them.
mayors ago wrote this book, and it was called Healthy Holly, and it was a kid's book.
No, she didn't write it. It wasn't even real.
Oh, it wasn't
There was
even
a
real. That was
cover.
a book.
It
There was no book.
It was like empty pages and a cover.
It was a sample cover, and she sold it to all these places like University of Maryland,
Johns Hopkins,
Medical Center, Johns Hopkins.
Yeah.
She sold contracts.
Kaiser
for these books.
Permanente. It was like
Kaiser Permanente.
all these like big
Never
like
read it.
hospitals that bought the book. Yeah.
Yup. She
But
never
there was no
wrote
book.
a fucking page.
What's going on with the
I'll write a
current
healthy
guy?
auto.
What's going on with the current guy? Isn't he in trouble for like the safe streets initiative or
Safe
something?
Streets, yep, same thing. He's paying
There's some
these people
embezzling
tax
going on.
dollars for these mentors, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, they taught us how to shoot Narcan in people, and that's about it."
Yeah, I was out watching the Phillies game, and I think I talked about it last week. I was rocking the Black Guns Matter shirt, and so many people were just coming. Anytime you wear Black Guns Matter apparel in the city, so many people just either give you the evil eye, or they're like just straight up come out that they're fucking racist, or that they don't get it. They're like, hell yeah, I love guns. It just creates all these conversations. And there was this lady that works. She was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about guns. And it was this older white lady, and she's like, because, well, what about the city? Do you want guns in the city? And I'm like, yeah, like I was like, I didn't.
Here, I'd rather like everyone have them.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's one literally right in front of you. Yeah,
Is there a more dangerous place that than in Baltimore? Like, if you need a gun anywhere, where is it more than in Baltimore?
Exactly. You need a gun in Baltimore.
Yeah.
But she basically said she works for a Catholic Charities, and I guess they fund this Baltimore Safe Streets program and she's like, oh, I work for that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that organization, because they just seem like a bunch of money launderers that go to some fraud organization that just is like it's just a jobs program.
Lexi, that is what Catholicism has always been.
Oh, 100%.
It's a money laundering organization.
Well, right. And then they launder it to some entity that's supposed to reduce the violence in Baltimore City, and all it is just a jobs program.
Here's something for you. What is the worst charity out there as far as the amount of money that actually goes to doing charity work?
Red Cross taxes.
No, isn't it the breast cancer?
Government. Salvation Army.
Salvation Army.
Oh yeah, that's
Goodwill.
Like 5 cents of every dollar goes to actual
That
charity.
damn bell! Oh my god, I can't stand that clanging bell.
Clunkety everywhere you go.
Oh god,
yeah.
Some wino with a bell. That's their business model. Let's get winos and give them a bell. And then we're like, yeah, that'll work great.
That's a great idea.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Well, we can use more Santas in the world, so I'm at least okay with that part of things. More Santa Claus.
You would.
Yeah, I would. It's very on brand.
We'll strategize more in the after hours, but my wheels were spinning the other night with all of this going on in Baltimore and just running like, say, imagine a Jeremy Kaufman like mayoral campaign in Baltimore City.
Like the most based thing in the world.
Do we know any good video producers in the area?
Oh, we know a good one. The same guy who does Kaufman videos.
We could find some.
Is he in the area?
Well,
It doesn't
not
have
in the
to
area,
be.
but he
Well, I
can do
guess.
it.
Me and Otto are both friends with him.
But it'll
So
be
you just want to just go straight at Baltimore's schools, the
Just
hellish
fix the
reality of Baltimore schools.
goddamn roads. You can't even pick up the fucking trash. You can't even do a goddamn thing. Just privatize shit already. Like
Well,
I would run the most.
What about those garbage eating boats? Maybe get those going again.
I would prompt.
They're still there. I
Private
follow them on
investment.
Instagram.
Yeah, I would.
What are you gonna do about the squeegee boys, Alex?
The squeegee boys? We got to have a comprehensive squeegee boy plan.
All right, Matt, calm down.
What about bringing those garbage eating boats onto land and have like garbage eating like trucks
robots
that go
We'll
around
put it
and like
underneath the
collect
83
trash.
bridge. We'll put it on the 83 bridge.
I was gonna see. All I see them doing is eating the tent cities, and that you can't have that, right?
We'll have like Elon Musk cyber trucks with a garbage eater that just patrol the cities of Baltimore.
Like RoboCop.
Yeah. I'll hire RoboCop. Imagine the commercial. Like, what are you going to do to get tough on crime if you're mayor, Alex Schlegel? It'll be like RoboCop.
I mean, it's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity that we don't get those types of commercials on TV.
Elon Musk is going to fund the RoboCop. Like,
Right, because
it's
let's
just
face
all
it,
these liberals, all the streets, all the
The streets are too dangerous for a real life person to patrol, right? So we're going to send in robots to fight
Cyborgs,
crime
okay.
and clean up the garbage.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
great.
teach the school children how to give hand jobs.
Yes. That's my 6-point plan to make Baltimore great again.
Right. You're using modern technology to solve these contemporary problems.
Yes.
Here, I've got a good one for you. This is apparently very popular. So you guys obviously know my big thing is the environment. And I stumbled on this little article the other day, and apparently this is like the new way people just think about the environment. Generally people that have never seen a forest, but why planting new forests could do more harm than good is the headline of this article.
Wow.
The first line is, misguided projects to plant trillions of trees distract from the real work of controlling carbon emissions and reining in climate change.
Which means carbon taxes.
Exactly.
The real solution, the only solution we're going to allow is paying the government more money. Okay. This is like planting trees. That's like the ivermectin of global warming, right? Like anything that prevents their state of alarm and designated emergency plan will be forbidden. You know what? If you mention that, PayPal should dock you $2,500 just for wanting to plant trees. Okay, because that's just we can't have that kind of misinformation out there.
Well, it's like so now we can't plant trees. We can't talk about nuclear, both of which will 100% help solve the problem. Instead, we're going to talk about carbon credits, which doesn't do anything. It just moves.
We don't want to solve
around.
this. First of all, is it even a problem? Okay. Second of all, there's only one way to solve the problem.
Well, you know what I keep hearing, James? I keep hearing that climate deaths are at an all-time high.
It's causing myocarditis.
Well, except for the fact that in the past, I think it's 50 years, we'll say 100 just to be safe, climate-related deaths have dropped 95%.
Mm-hmm.
Shh! You're going to get us canceled on YouTube. That's like mentioning natural. That's like mentioning natural immunity. Okay, it doesn't exist. Okay, shh.
Well, no, according to Pfizer, it exists and is better for you as of this point. But you should still get the other one because it'll add on.
I saw a study that by the time you've got to your 5th booster, you actually have a bigger chance of getting COVID. I kid you not.
Oh no,
a
lot bigger.
Had a negative benefit.
Yeah, I don't understand why people are still. I was reading an article the other day where a woman's like, "Yeah, having half of my face not work kind of sucks."
We talked about that.
But you got to do it anyways, kids.
Well, this was we can maybe so this tweet I just tweeted back. And have you noticed a lot of the bots on Twitter, or are there bots on Facebook, like where you just know this account is not real? But
yeah, there's quite a few.
Mostly it's just stupid people. Yeah.
So Jared, you could pull up the tweet, but this was what I responded to. Yeah, it is quite a treat of a tweet. But the COVID vaccines are one of the greatest accomplishments of modern science and private initiative. They have saved millions of lives worldwide. It's a shame many libertarians continue to deny this. I honestly cannot understand why. They should be celebrating the vaccines. And this is in response to Angela McArdle, just basically saying basically she just said that anybody's pushing this vaccine are just snake oil, or just pushing snake oil. And this guy's like, I can't believe it, just outrage. But the amount of bots that show up in conversations, when you tweet at any of this, and I just look at this dude that responded. Let me pull it up.
I don't think this guy's a bot.
You don't think so?
Stupid.
No, he's just he's got 15,000 followers.
The bots are smarter than that.
Well, not him, but look at the response, the reply. Let me see. I just lost it. But anyway. But the one comment right above the Mises Caucus, Maryland, that has to be a bot.
No, that's just a stupid person.
You think so?
I think you're just being too optimistic.
Yeah,
Google the exact text of it and see if it comes up as 100.
What, this one?
Whatever you think's a bot. That seems to be there. They don't care if they just post the same.
This guy's just like, I self-identify as a libertarian. I agree. Just got my bivalent update along with the flu vax. The largest cost is waiting in line at the pharmacy. so many more substantive issues to use one's energy on.
Oh, aside from being able to jab shit into my fucking body and pump me full of chemicals, there's more important shit than that. I'd love to hear it.
All right.
Like a global, like there's what's more important than a global eugenicist movement to reduce the world's population and enrich the pharmaceutical elites, and to usher in vaccine passports, I mean,
right? Let me see.
Lockdowns and destroy the economy.
January 6th. Duh.
Oh, of course.
So I'm curious what you guys think about this. Like,
Jan 6, bro.
It stinks to me of Q, but like I don't know. It also sounds like it makes sense. Is it Tom Luongo? Is the guy's name?
Yeah.
Who's basically
Tom DeLong?
No, or it's some Luongo guy.
Gold Goats and Guns podcast.
Yeah, Gold Goats.
I like his.
He's good. I like listening to him.
Well, his
go
point
ahead,
is he actually says that we're in a position where the biggest fighting against the Great Reset is actually from the Fed right now,
because they want to be in control of it.
Yeah, basically. So the thing that's most likely to keep them from taking control of us, the power over us, is the thing that we all think is the worst thing in the world, justifiably so as well.
Yeah, he's really good when it comes to geopolitics and the markets and the whole financial system from an Austrian.
He's real fucking scared right now too.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean, but he definitely looks at it from a very interesting perspective, and I highly recommend anybody. I think it's like once or twice a week, but he puts out it's Gold Goats and Guns podcast, and
it's an actual podcast.
Yeah, and I've listened to it. It's one of my go-tos, but he doesn't put out too much. But he has really interesting guests from all around the world, and he really gives from the financial perspective through the lens of geopolitics, but from an Austrian free market perspective.
I caught him on the Kunstler cast by this is it James Kunstler guy who has written a bunch of books about like essentially how we're all headed towards like the 1700s again because of because of energy policy. Is a very interesting thinker. Like I never know how to classify him like on the political spectrum, because like he's 1 minute he'll sound like a crazy leftist, and then the next minute like he's railing against wokeness. Like there's like no end to it. But he's always got super interesting opinions. So listening to him talk to someone like this Luongo guy was a fucking wild conversation. It's just two people that sound nothing like anyone else you listen to.
You know what's crazy too, and I just saw it too. Have you seen the not native ads, but ads that have been popping up, and it's been popping up on my Twitter feed, and with all that's going on over in Europe with, they're gonna freeze over there without getting gas from Russia, but they're talking about natural gas exports from the United States on these huge ships to ship them over to Europe. And I see all these pop-ups of this company called Trillium, and there was some potential insider trading amongst members of Congress when they knew prior to this Nord Stream pipeline, because they knew like once that was gone, then all of a sudden exports of natural gas from the United States to Europe is going to just skyrocket. Have you guys been hearing about that? In the wake?
Not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like flown really under the radar. Well, maybe next episode I'll dig into the docs a little bit more.
What a tease!
I was gonna say it wasn't very under the radar. I was aware of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, not under the radar, but a lot of people. It's like connecting all the dots with this Nord Stream pipeline bullshit and what's going on in Europe. I mean, they're gonna fucking freeze over there this winter. It's gonna be insane.
And is gonna starve. And in 2 years' time, so won't fucking Denmark. They've already started selling off the farmland to developers to build more of the small-scale, high-density housing that they're looking to build.
Well, what could happen in Germany, though, if they're all like, let's just say they're all completely depressed from their economic destruction, and European policies are just completely screwing them over, and they're desperate and suffering and freezing and starving. Would they embrace, say, a strong man who might emerge in this environment with perhaps a nationalist agenda, a Germany first, perhaps a something for the fatherland.
Yes.
Well,
could maybe grow out of this.
Honestly, I don't think they have it in them anymore.
Who has a beef with the Jews? Maybe Kanye West? I don't know. Wait,
that'd be hilarious. I don't think they have it in them anymore. Like their culture is so
obedient,
so afraid of being called Nazis that like you do not how like it's that terrifies them. So they're so over the top anti anything like that and be obedient. Because
they need to get with the times. You're Azov battalion now, okay? Like it's cool to be like, don't worry about being a Nazi, right? Until the Ukraine war's over, we're gonna everybody gets a pass.
Here's something to think about, James. At the point that we're having the conversations for the past 4 months about how they're all going to freeze to death this winter, would you imagine some amount of rioting, something like a show of force to say we're not going to fucking take this?
No, I understand there was a big protest prior to the Nord Stream sabotage, where they were demanding that their government back out of the sanctions days before the NATO blew up the pipeline and just took that option off the table.
That sounds like asking.
There was a good chance that Germany was gonna resume trade with Russia and break ranks. And I think that's, did the timeline have something to do with that? I mean, I think they set this up a while ago, but this was the plan all along, to deny Germany the chance to buy Russian fuel.
Absolutely.
And to quote Victoria Nuland, fuck Europe. Right, remember? That's
fuck the EU. Yep.
Fuck the EU.
Cheers.
Forest Bobby has a solution to keep the freezing people in Germany.
Oh no. Oh no.
We can't do it.
Jared, don't look.
No.
What is this, conspiracy shit?
No.
Look at it.
Just look at the chat. It's great. Anyway,
the comments.
That was hilarious, by the way. But we don't want to get like auto canceled.
I know. I'm already.
You're already on the shit list of the LNC.
If the Loser Brigade actually listen to the show, they'd have so much shit on me. Actually, not, because I say so much shit in here. But the one thing I get flack for is being anti-trans. I still don't get that. I still don't get it.
Folks, he's not anti-trans. I can vouch.
Thank you.
Dude, the losers would so hard if they actually listened to our podcast.
You're muted, James. You gotta unmute. You're talking.
There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say, with compared to your anti-Semitism, your homophobia, why do they go with this anti-trans thing?
I don't know.
Speaking of the anti-Semitism thing, I had to explain to my wife today why it's a thing. When we were talking about how Kanye said a bunch of anti-Semitic shit on YouTube, blaming the bankers, and
it was cringe.
Oh, I know, but the thing is like the issue with it is that it's not that, it's the fact that everything becomes anti-Semitism if you start going after a certain class of people. It doesn't have to be Jews. They'll pretend that it's Jews if you're talking about a certain class of people that might overlap. Like, if you talk about poor people, you're automatically talking about black people. But if you're talking about bankers, you're automatically talking about Jews. And it's just coded language.
Yeah.
That's why you can't ever say, well, I'm not saying anything about the Jews. I'm saying that there's a bunch of wealthy families that go back in European history very densely into, the financial money interests. Nope, you're talking about the Rothschilds. You must be anti-Semitic. Well, no, I was talking about one shitty family that's been involved in the money industry forever.
That's
a
Jews
good
is
word. Beyond the point. Yeah.
That's dog whistling, don't you know?
It's weird how they keep hearing all these dog whistles, buddy.
We got the video in the docs here. Just the beginning of the because we were talking about in the pre-show. You think this might be this might be the domino for Bitcoin?
I think it's if there's anything that's possible about bringing bit adoption, is someone as high profile as Kanye West being kicked out of JP Morgan on top of what happened in PayPal. I don't think it will. But if it ever was to happen, it would be the thing.
Kanye would be the worst thing for Bitcoin since Elon Musk. Okay, we don't need celebrities. Okay, right? Like, because you know what, they're in it today, and then tomorrow that's like, oh, I'm now into Dogecoin. Right? There's no principles. There's no.
Or he just makes his own
understanding.
coin.
There's
the Ye coin.
Yeah.
Oh, James, I'm not
Kanye.
saying it's a
Get
good.
some
I'm not saying
Kanye.
it's a good thing. I'm saying
It's not going to
it's
do
something that I can see
anything.
that could.
There would be no net positive for Bitcoin. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think this. I don't
disagree.
Like, the celebrity thing already happened with Bitcoin. Now it's just got to be actual, like, legitimate adoption. Like,
Well,
okay,
no,
there's a
it's
use
not the
case for
celebrity. It's not the celebrity. You have a high profile, frankly, normie person. Yes, he's weird, but he is a normie celebrity who is just cut off from banking. Period.
No, he's not. He's cut off from one bank. Unless
you
you're
think the
saying the
rest of us
Jews
can
run all the
accept him?
banks.
They do.
Wait, what bank cut him off?
JP Morgan.
So JP Morgan
We don't
won't do
even.
business.
We don't actually know why they cut him off, do we?
Yeah, because he came out and said that all of the banking industry is run by powerful Jews.
No. Well, when did he say that?
God, I'd have
No,
to
he
look
said
up.
it.
He said it. Though.
Well,
it was
the
in a
letter
tweet.
From,
It was in a
the-
tweet.
No, what's it?
The
No, I
letter
take it
from
back.
JP Morgan, although recently released, I think was from back in July or like months earlier. Okay, so if he said anything recent, it's not in response.
It's a retaliation. It's a retaliation to them.
It's retaliatory.
I think what he said recently was in response to getting bagged by them, even though it hadn't been made public yet.
Interesting. But
so what was the reasoning then? What did he do? Was he just? Yeah, what was he doing?
Hanging out with Chris Brown. That's all I need.
I mean, meanwhile, they tolerated Jeffrey Epstein, right? They tolerated.
Yeah, that's a little sketch.
They've. There's a website. If you just Google like JP Morgan fines, right? There's a whole website that tallies up billions and billions and billions of dollars that have been accrued on JP Morgan for shady activity. Now, some of these things, as libertarians, we wouldn't say are crimes, but just the sheer bulk of these things is ridiculous. Fraud,
let's clarify this.
Manipulating markets.
This isn't like Kanye's personal bank account.
It's
they are probably giving him, they're probably helping to finance his LLC through some sort of business loan. And, they're saying they're going to cut it off, but it was way before all this crazy shit that he started saying. So,
but I'm sure he was saying crazy shit back then too. But I just don't think that's why they bagged him.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been saying crazy shit, but
Jared will make some phone calls. He'll ease this over.
Yeah, look, I can work this out for Kanye. It's not a big deal. Just everybody relax. Okay.
All right.
He's just gonna have to go on. What is it? Fucking Nick. Oh God, what's Nick Cannon's?
Nick at Night?
No, Nick Cannon's show.
Oh yeah, he's he's anti-Semitic too, right?
He is a what do you call it? A
Black Israelite or something?
Black Hebrew Israelite or whatever it's called.
Oof, yeah.
Liz had a friend that started hanging out with a guy from that organization. We had to put the kibosh on that hanging out. They are known to try and separate black women from white partners.
Can't have that.
What?
They're like on that who's that? No Context or Uncle, or what do they call him? Uncle Umar or Dr. Umar from Philly. He's on that shit too. And like Hotep and Uncle Hotep go after him because he's just like insane on that shit to the point of just everything is racist, everything. And it's like, dude, you're fucking off your rocker. Like, stop with that shit.
But you know what you shouldn't stop is listening to us talk, because you will have a chance to listen to us talk right after this podcast. Yes, you may be thinking, how do I listen to these fine gentlemen keep talking? Well, we're at the hour mark here, so this ends it for our regular podcast, but we will continue this conversation on the After Hours podcast, which if you sign up for our Patreon for as little as $3 a month, you can get access to all of our After Hours podcasts and the podcast we're going to record after this. If you guys don't like using Patreon, go to prlfans.com and find other ways to donate to the show. Everybody click like, share, give us a good review, follow us on all Instagram, Twitter, You know the drill. Do all that stuff. Promote us, please. And another way you can help us is by buying t-shirts over at libertariancountry.com. If you use our code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get a 10% discount. Use the code PRL2, you get a 20% discount if you spend $50 or more, which I know you will. And I guess that's it. And until next time, everybody, live free
or die.